Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson was caught back in 2021 trying to hand a fake slate of electors to Mike Pence. And if he would have done that, it would have thrown the entire electoral process out of whack and possibly given the White House to Donald Trump for a second term, given Donald Trump the victory over Joe Biden. That's what Donald Trump was hoping for. Now, that never happened, but Ron Johnson wanted to do that. He was caught. And so now, when he's asked about these fake electors, he is lying, saying that the Democrats throughout the history of our country have done this before, trying to somehow kind of do this, both sides play this dirty game, when in reality, it has not happened before. This is really a unique election where we saw Donald Trump and these Republican goons try to overthrow the electoral process. And because Ron Johnson has been caught up in this, he is now trying to lie his way out of it.
I do want to ask about this. Obviously, it's your home state. 10 Republicans who signed paperwork falsely claiming that Trump won there in the 2020 election have now agreed to withdraw that paperwork, acknowledge that Joe Biden did win the election, and also agree to not serve as an elector in the 2024 election or in any election where Trump is on the ballot. But there is one person who still serves, Robert Spindell, in a state agency that is responsible for administering elections and certifying the results. Do you think that he should resign from that, given the role he played in the fake elector scheme?
No, again, there was an active court case. There are all kinds of irregularities in Wisconsin in the 2020 election. And in order to make sure that the case just wasn't determined to be moot, they had to have an alternate slate of electors, just like Democrats have done repeatedly in all kinds of different states. There was nothing untoward about what they did. There was nothing illegal about what they did. They were just an alternate slate of electors.
They were going to court. They had $2.4 million on the line in damages if they lost this case at trial. That's why
I know
they've
been harassed.
But to say, you're saying that they
I
did
realize
nothing
Democrats
wrong?
have used the civil courts to harass these poor individuals. It's unfortunate. It's a travesty. But that's what Democrats do. They view politics as a blood sport. It was unfortunate. These folks did nothing different than what many Democrats have done in many states throughout our history.
Senator. I mean, there were multiple slates of fake electors, including in your home state. They're acknowledging that they were playing a role in trying to improperly overturn the election. That's what they said.
They got themselves out of a nuisance lawsuit. They agreed to settle a nuisance lawsuit that never should have been brought.
So you think it's fine that someone...
It was a travesty of justice.
You think it's fine that someone who tried to overturn a legitimate election is still on a board that
Democrat electors have done that
certifies.
Repeatedly. Democrats have done the same thing.
In Wisconsin,
never tried to
there's
criminalize
been fake slates of electors?
No, it's happened in different states. I didn't come prepared to give you the exact states, but it's happened repeatedly. It has happened repeatedly. Just go check the books.
Which books?
I mean, there have been alternate slates of electors by Democrat electors in our history. Again, this wasn't what this interview is going to be about. I'll come and I'll provide you the information, but I'm absolutely certain about that.
I look forward to your office sending that information. We'll publish it if it's accurate.
That.
Senator Ron Johnson, a busy day ahead on Capitol Hill. Thank you for your time tonight.
Have a Merry Christmas.
I will say it doesn't get much more embarrassing than that, to have to go on national TV and say, well, this isn't what you said we were going to talk about. And trust me when I lie to you, there's records of it. You just have to check the books. I don't know what books they are. I wasn't really prepared for this. This is almost saying like, this is a gotcha line of questioning. And, this is beneath you. Just the way he said Merry Christmas at the end there. He basically could have been giving Collins the, middle finger with how he said that. He clearly did not like CNN asking him about the fake electors. And this kind of goes back to Republicans these days who stick to their conservative bubble, because when they have interviews on Fox News or Newsmax, they know that they're going to be able to control the dialogue and control the interview. And there's no way that they're going to be asked about a corrupt plot to overthrow our democracy, on Sean Hannity. But when they go outside of that bubble, when they leave their protected yard, you've got people over at CNN and MSNBC who can easily expose their lies, because if you're a Republican these days, that's what you have to do in order to survive, is you need to lie, through your teeth about your party's plans, about what you've done, about fake electors, because you have been caught in a plot to overthrow the American government. I mean, it's got to be exhausting to be a Republican these days. There's a part of me that kind of felt bad for Ron Johnson here. He just looks exhausted. Like the years of lying have caught up to him. Like maybe he's over it. Because like I said earlier, if you're a Republican, you must lie to stay in power. I mean, think about who's leading that party. You have a person like Donald Trump, who, if you don't bend the knee, he will throw you under the bus. I mean, imagine the stress of basing your entire life, your career, around bending the knee to Donald Trump. It's insane. So Ron Johnson here, I mean, I don't feel bad for Ron Johnson. I was just saying there was a brief moment where I possibly could have felt bad for him, but I don't. I think Ron Johnson and a lot of these Republicans need to be as far away from government as possible. But it's always good to see them squirm when they're confronted about their lies.